Howdy everybody, I'm Rabbit Goalie and this is SevTech Ages. I've wanted to do some videos in Minecraft for quite a while, and I've chickened out every time that I've went to start a video series. I've never done any video series before, so this is going to be pretty amateur hour, I know, and I apologize for that. I'm hoping I'll get better. The goal of the series isn't really to get a lot of views or viewers or subscribers or likes or anything like that. I'm not going to say that I don't care at all, but that's not really the point to the videos. I don't play on servers at all, really. So I never get to share anything that I'm doing with anybody. So this is kind of my way of doing that. So it's not really meant to be like some big YouTube channel or anything like that. If I got 100 views on each video, that would be awesome to me. And I know that's kind of setting the bar low, but I'm just being honest. I'm not monetizing any videos or anything like that. That's not the point of any of this. So the production values, like I've already said, aren't going to be great at first because I've never done this before, but I'll try my best to get better at it. As I said, this is SevTech Ages, and this is my exploration world. I don't know why I said that really weird that way. I started this world just to kind of get to know the pack a little bit, so that I wasn't so new to the pack and didn't fumble around too much. Here is the progression that I've made in this world. I'm not going to go any further. There's really no point. I decided that this time I'm not going to chicken out, that I'm actually going to go ahead and do some videos. So I'm going to start over from scratch. I'm probably going to use this world. Here's the seed for the world. So I'll probably use this world because this is a great seed. I'm sorry, I keep saying world. I'm not going to use this world. I'm going to use this seed because I spawned in right around right here, somewhere around here. So this village is in spawn, which works out really well. I'm sure everyone is familiar with SevTech Ages. So you've got to find a village, and that's already been done for you with that seed. This was a complete disaster. It was stupid. I should have never built that. It was worthless. So yeah, that's what this is all about. This isn't the actual world that I'm going to be playing in the videos. I just wanted to learn a little bit about this. So I'm going to include a few clips of some of the other mod packs that I've played in. You know, some clips of the base builds that I've got, so that you've got a decent idea of what kind of builder I am. I'm not much when it comes to redstone. I'm not completely incompetent, but I'm certainly not some redstone guru, nor will I ever be. But just so you get an idea of my skill level, I'll try to keep it short as well. I've already recorded these once, and the sound levels were awful. You couldn't hear my voice at all. All you could hear was the dogs and the villagers and everything else but me. So I've already made one mistake. So I'm going to try to keep it short and just give you a quick tour of the other bases. I will do Age of Engineering, then Fullcraft 1, then Fullcraft 3 to show you my bases. So I will be right back. Alright, and this is Age of Engineering. I know the build isn't great, but this is really just an entrance for the rest of the base. Most of the base is underground. You can see a lot of the big windows for the base there. So most of it is underground. This building is just kind of an entrance for it and not much more. This over there, if I can make this thing fly. There's the space program and the bees. This isn't all of the bees. I actually have most of the bees over here in this dimension, but you've seen apiaries and alvearies before. You don't. I'm sure you don't want to see that. I meant to do stained glass windows here. That's why those are open. Those weren't finished. I really should have finished those. And we'll go down here. Oops. And you can check out a little bit of this. It's the IC2 room, which I hated when I first started playing this pack, but I really came to like it. I just wasn't familiar with it. And every time I broke one of these machines, I would lose the machine. I wasn't used to that, so I hated it. Here's the heart of the ME system. I always try to do something kind of interesting with the ME system if I'm able to. So this worked out pretty well. It worked really well, actually. You've got to have auto crafting in Age of Engineering. If you don't have that, good luck. You're in a lot of trouble. Some of the machines, they're all set up to work through the ME system, of course, so that I don't have to craft things by hand. We'll go over to the mechanism area. The big reactor. This was a lot of fun to play with. It really was. It was a little finicky. It would shut down every once in a while, but man, that thing makes a lot of power. It is really cool. I really enjoyed mechanism a lot. There's all this stuff down here. As you can see, I like using glass a lot. I don't know why, I just do. And let me show you. There is something that I want to show you on the storage drawers. Some of you might already know about this, but just in case, of course it's raining. Go down here. I made the mistake of painting the teleportation block. Yeah. So I can never find it. That was a really dumb thing to do. I should have... Oh, the travel anchor, not teleportation block. These all have the creative ending upgrade. This causes a problem with the ME system, because the ME system does not like the infinite storage that these crafting upgrades create. So I was watching Direwolf 20's videos on Age of Engineering, and somebody in the comments section, and I don't remember who it was, mentioned piping your items out of your infinite storage drawers and into a separate set of storage drawers that don't have the infinite upgrades. So all of these are filled to the max with all the maximum upgrades. So you have literally infinite resources, but it doesn't glitch out the ME system, which will freeze the entire game up if you don't do it this way. So you basically have to take all of your items out of the infinite storage drawers and pipe them into this separate set of storage drawers. But once you get to the point where you've got the creative vending upgrade, doing that is not an issue. Like, it's free. So that is literally the end of the pack for the most part. There's no point in playing anymore after that. It's not very much fun, because you can just create anything you want at that point. So this is my immersive engineering. I love that mod. It's not super powerful. That's one of the reasons why I really I'm going to enjoy SevTech Ages, because there is a point in the pack where these are actually powerful and useful. So I'm really going to like that a lot. I've got a whole bunch more of these arc furnaces down underneath here, but there's no point in showing it to you, because you've seen arc furnaces before. There's a whole bunch of them down there. You can see that. So yeah, this isn't really a super impressive build or anything. I do like the way that the ME system looks down there. I tried to make that look interesting. This was the pack that I was going to do some videos on, but I chickened out, of course. So also, while I'm speaking, I know that this microphone isn't great. I hope I'm not popping my peas into the microphone. If I am, I apologize. So anyway, that is Age of Engineering, and I will load up Fullcraft 1 and show you my base there. Here we are in Fullcraft 1. When I first started playing this pack, I basically just started living in this building here, and I kind of never really moved out of it. I built my chicken coops back here. I like these. I like chickens too. I love this chickens mod, whatever it's called. Hatchery. I think this is cool. I had a lot of fun breeding these up. I think a lot of people feel that this is grindy and whatnot, but I had fun doing this. I really like packs that have these in it. These and the cows. I didn't really get into the mini moos in it was Fullcraft 3. I never really messed with them. Here's my my barn. I really enjoyed building this. This was a lot of fun to build with these guys. The way that I got these guys was a lot of them I went exploring for, but then I learned the trick of using this with these chickens to get the spawn eggs for the cows. And then once you do that, you can just get a bunch of the spawn eggs, spawn a bunch of different cows, and just keep the ones you want and get rid of the ones you don't. And that worked out really well. I didn't finish this this barn, unfortunately. There's supposed to be windows on the other side, like on the first side, but I found that once I beat a pack, or I get to a point where I feel like I've beaten the pack, a lot of my enthusiasm for the pack kind of disappears. So I've learned to try to finish builds like this before the pack is done. Aside from the cows, I also have my my farm over here, but most of my farm isn't here. Excuse me, isn't above ground, as most of my stuff isn't. It's down here. I know that was very suggestive, so you know the way you get in here, but yeah, I like to hide things like that. Like I like to make things out of view so that you don't see it. I just like doing it that way. This thing is every bit as laggy as you might think it is. This is the only one that's running right now. What is the frame rate doing? Not too bad. Not too bad. As you can see from the specs on my computer, it's a pretty good computer. Even so, sometimes when this is running, I think if I remember correctly, the frame rates would drop to, oh, that one's running too. Would drop to, say, I don't know, 30, something like that, maybe 40. Not unplayable, but certainly not something that you'd want to run all the time. So there's that, and the other building that I built that I'm pretty happy with is this one. This is my blacksmith building. I spent quite a bit of time on this. Really? Oh yeah, that's right. That won't be sticking around for very long. Thanks to Draconic Evolution. Bye-bye, rain. Go away. No one likes you. That looks cool. I like that. There's some coal over there. This is actually functional if you take, of course I don't have any ore. If you take some ore and throw it in here. Do I have any? Let me see if I have some more. No transmitter in range. Oh, I don't have the infinite transmitter. Anyway, if you take ore and you throw it in here, it will go down to the smelteries down here. It'll go into this. So you can smelt up huge batches of stuff. Let me throw that in there. I think that'll work. I'm pretty proud of this because I wanted this to be functional. So, even though it's kind of useless, I'm not going to lie. You can't see down in there. Well, it does work, I promise. It does work. Where's the door? There's the door. Get up in there. Yeah. See, there's our molten aluminum brass. So, that's this build. I never did put any furniture or anything in here, as you can clearly see. I did do some stuff up here. My fireplace. So, I'm not terrible at building, but I'm not great at it either. But yeah, I'm going to try to keep this short because the Age of Engineering clip was at 6 minutes, and I don't really want these videos to be very long. I'm hoping to keep the videos at around 22 minutes because that's what a 1/2 hour show would be on television minus the commercials. So 22 minutes is what I'm aiming for in terms of length of videos. I don't know if I'll hit that or not, probably not, but anyway, so that is Fullcraft 1, and the last one I'm going to show is Fullcraft 3, and I think it's the best base that I've built so far. Not to say that it's great, but I think it's pretty nice. So I will load that up. We'll be right back. And here we are in Fullcraft 3. I think the base that I built here is probably the best base I've ever built. But to start, here we are with Britannia. I'm filling these mana pools up from underneath here. I like to hide things as much as I can. So I've put most of the circuitry and whatnot for that underneath here, so they don't have to see it. It's basically the same thing over there. I always try to do something interesting with Britannia, like nature related, and I like to hide all of the kind of machine, the technology type of builds for it underneath, so that I don't have to see it, because I think it kind of destroys the look of Britannia when you can see a bunch of machinery and a bunch of circuitry going all over the place. So I always try to hide that. Speaking of hiding, I don't want you to be able to see the base until we get over there. Oh, you might have seen a little bit of it. So here we are walking down. I've noticed already keeping a running dialogue is difficult to do. I just walked through something again. What did I walk through? I didn't see it. Anyway, here we are. Yes, it's a castle. I know. Everybody's done a castle before, right? This is actually modeled on a real-life castle in Switzerland. It's on the, I believe it's on the border of Switzerland and France. It's, I know I'm going to butcher this. This is going to be terrible, but it's Chateau de Chillon. It's spelled Chillon is Chillon. If it looks a little Disney to you, it's because that's the castle that Disney modeled all of their castles on. I was originally going to do this more fairy tale than it is, but this biome is not what I thought it was. There's a biome in a mod, in one of the mods, not in this pack, but in one of the mods, where the leaf blocks glow at night. And I was hoping that this magical forest was that biome, but it's not, unfortunately. So that's why I built this here. The actual castle is built on a lake. This is just built on a river. This is the best I could do. I couldn't find anything else, any other location to build this on that would fit. So this kind of dictated the whole shape and size of the castle. But there's that. I put all of the magic and non-technology mods up here. Normally I don't really build much in the above ground base that I do, because I always just end up digging down. I'm sure I'm not alone in that. Everyone probably does that, but in this particular build, since there's so much room, I oops, I never did put the furniture in here. This is a huge build. Like, this is a huge building. I couldn't even think of all the things that I would need to put up here to fill this up. Um, Here's this. You will spend a lot of time doing this right here, because this is really the end game, which I've already, or at least I consider this to be the end game. Project E. Once you get this, the game's pretty much over. There's really no point in going any further, because you can just make anything you want. So much like with Age of Engineering and the creative vending upgrades, once you get Project E up and running in this world, to me it's over, because there's really not much else to do. Just maybe a little bit of decorating and whatnot. Here's for the archers. I'm not going to show every room, obviously. The video is already going to be longer than I want it to be. Library. Yeah, not that you needed me to tell you that. When I first started this world, I knew I was going to build this castle, because I had seen a picture of this castle, and the moment that I saw it, I'm like, oh, I'm building that. But I needed a place to put all my technology mods, and I needed to figure out, like, I can't remember what YouTuber had mentioned having some lore, like a backstory to your build, really helps. And I've noticed that that is true. If you have even a weak backstory, it doesn't have to be great, as long as you have something to kind of help arrange everything and explain everything, why everything is where it is and whatnot. It makes it a lot easier. So I was trying to figure that out, but because this is 1.12.2, for Ender IO, you've got to dig down to bedrock, because you have to get that dust, the dust of infinity or something like that. Grains of infinity, I think it is. So I built all this. This wasn't a cave. So I was going to start digging down, and I wanted to have a nice area to do that. So that's what this is. Got to have a hidden door, a piston door. I know I could have done that easier than using a piston door, but as I was digging down to get to the point, I discovered this canyon here, and I've always wanted to use this in a build before, but I could never figure out a way to do it. And the moment that I saw this, I knew, like, the backstory that I wanted to use for this, which is basically to go for a Bond villain type theme, like a James Bond villain, because they've always got this beautiful, it's either a tropical island or some amazing castle that they live in, and then underneath it they have their evil lair. So the moment that I saw this, I'm like, oh, that will work perfectly. And so, being the Bond villain, I've got to do something horrible. So the best I could come up with was these lasers blasting down to the center of the earth to do, I don't know what. We're kind of counting on James Bond to come along and stop us before we ever get to the center of the earth, so we don't really have a plan, is what I'm getting at. So that's why I incorporated this. It might have seemed a little lazy to you, but I thought it was a pretty good idea. It's kind of hard to make a cave look good. A lot of these crystals just grew here. I didn't place them all here. So here's the face of the ME system. Like I said before, I always try to do something a little bit interesting to look at for the ME system. Here's the controls for the different mob farms. The Blaze, Blizz, all these on this panel are all one mob farm. And when this thing is turned on, I don't care how powerful your system is, man, it comes to a crawl. I mean, it just nosedives to about 20 frames per second, because there's so many particle effects from the Blaze, the Blizz, all the Blaze-based creatures just bring that to a crawl. Um, yeah, I think that's about it here. What's going on here? So yeah, this is where I dug down originally when I first discovered that, just to get those the things for Ender IO. And this is pretty much where I decided that the game was over. Once I got these energy condensers and I could start just manufacturing dragon eggs like this for fuel, because you can just leave them running like that nonstop, and it's you can amass a huge amount of EMC relatively quickly with this. So these are for Blacker Lotus for the Britannia setup. But yeah, I mean once you get that, it's pretty much over. There's no point in going any further. When you have 50,000 grid power, there's no point in going any further. So I decided to start up SevTech Ages, because it reminded me so much of Age of Engineering, which is, like I already said, I really liked that pack. That was a lot of fun. Oh, I don't think I ever showed you this setup in the Age of Engineering. This is not my setup. This energetic generator. This is by a guy on YouTube named Landstrider, and I saw this. Many of you might have seen it as well. Wells Knight did a series on Sprout, and that's where I saw this. I saw this through Wells Knight, and I thought, man, that's a great idea. I've tried to use these before, and it just fell flat on its face. I couldn't get the timing right. If you've ever messed with these on your own, you know what I'm saying. It's pretty tough. So this setup is pretty amazing, and it does produce quite a bit of power too. It produces about 15,000 RF per tick. And I can't remember. Like I said at the beginning, I've had to re-record this because the sound levels were awful. So I don't know if I mentioned it, but on any pack that has roguelike dungeons, I always go and grab the spawner for the Enderman, because as long as you can build this and you have that spawner, you have a lot of power right from the beginning. So it's kind of my go-to RF source if I'm able to use it. So that is that. That's pretty much the build. I can't think of anything else to show you. It's like I said before, I'm not great at redstone. I don't have any amazing redstone builds to show off or anything like that. And don't get me wrong, I don't believe that these builds are amazing looking or anything like that. But I figured I would show you some of the stuff that I've done, so that I'm not going to be building a dirt block to live in. It's not going to be a square dirt block that I'm going to be living in. That's not to bag on like Direwolf 20. I know he does his 9x9s, but I'm going to do a little bit more than that. So, all right, that's it. I'm going to stop the video here, and hopefully it won't be too amateurish. Like I said before, it's hard to keep up a dialogue going. I've noticed it's pretty difficult to keep talking nonstop. So hopefully the dialogue isn't too all over the place for you. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.